personal and collective privilege. They are Senators Legarda and Miriam Defensor Santiago. I move that we recognize Senator Legarda.
Senator Legarda is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, let me start this privileged speech by telling you a story about how a grandson spent in just 10 days what took his grandfather 82 years to accumulate, to show how we as a people intend to destroy what took billions of years to form, unless we change our mindset and undertake a paradigm shift on the environment. A grandfather died intestate and left his only grandson 100 million pesos as inheritance. Prior to his death, he told his grandson to spend only the income of his inheritance and to preserve the capital of 100 million pesos. However, contrary to his grandfather's wishes, the grandson gambled and spent 10 million pesos a day on his losses. Thus, by the end of the 10th day, the whole inheritance was gone. But instead of treating this as a loss, the grandson asked that the money he spent for gambling be reported by his accountant as losses that are allowable deductions in his gross income. Mr. President, this story demonstrates how we treat the environment. The earth has taken 4.5 billion years to put together. Man, 1 million years, and civilization, 6,000 to 7,000 years. However, the Industrial Revolution, which started only 200 years ago, intends to destroy what took thousands of years to form. The rate of extraction and consumption is way faster than the rate at which the earth can replenish her resources. First, the air that we breathe. We have polluted it at such alarming levels that we have exposed ourselves to respiratory and pulmonary diseases. Our waters, what have we done with the source of our life? We did not only use it, but we also used it up. We have even dirted it. We all know about the recent Blacksmith Green Cross report that includes Maykawayan City and Marilao, Bulacan among the world's 30 dirtiest places. Into the river system that is a source of drinking and agricultural water for 250,000 residents, untreated wastewater laced with chromium is dumped by tanneries. So are other heavy metals from lead battery recycling and gold refineries, pesticides, and solid waste from so-called guerrilla dump sites. What about our minerals that took 55 million years to form? We intend to extract these minerals in 30 to 50, even if future generations of Filipinos will have nothing left. Imagine 55 million years to form and 30 to 50 years, and they're all gone. We have extracted the bounty of the natural environment to provide for our overly consumptive population at the expense of depleting the capital, the land, the air, the water that took billions of years to form and to perfect. This is how we treat the benefits we receive from our natural resources. This is the mindset of an extractive and consumptive economics, a flawed model for progress and development that unfortunately official policies and actions espouse. The Philippines' GDP grew by 5% in 2005, 5.4% in 2006. It was reported mid-year that 7.5% was the growth rate for this year, and the government is optimistic of achieving a milestone 8% in 2008. Yet, the value of goods and services turned out by our market economy, which government economists translate into GDP or GNP, conveniently factors out one thing: the toll these activities exact on our natural environment. This is the unreported truth in our growth stories. For every percentage rise in our economic activity, for every point up in the NEDA charts, hectares of wondrous and thriving biodiversity are extracted from our natural environment. The World Watch Institute, in its Vital Signs Report 2007 to 2008, tracked 44 trends that illustrate how 6.6 billion humans are pushing the limits of ecosystem services. In 2006, the world used 3.9 billion tons of oil. In 2005, 7.6 billion tons of emissions were released, and more wood was removed from forests than ever before. Economic gains from exploiting and extracting through unsustainable mining, illegal logging, overfishing, and unabated industrial production enter into statistical columns for gain and for growth. In contrast, irreparable harm, lasting damage are not made part of the gain-loss equation. We live in a delusional world in which nature suffers no depreciation despite the greed-induced savagery we inflict on it. We build our growth statistics on the bloodied, tortured corpse of our natural environment. The skewed emphasis, Mr. President, on the gains has caused government to fail on a policy imperative: to provide the necessary measures to enhance the restorative capacity of our ecosystems, to nurture nature, to bring our soil, our seas, our forests and mountains back to health and vibrancy, in short, to heal Mother Earth. The despoliation of the environment and the sustained destruction abetted by official neglect is the urgent matter I wish to bring to the attention of this chamber, Mr. President. The recent dry spell and the destruction that it left in its wake is an eye-opener on the sad state of the Philippine environment. As we know, from late May, June, and even July, which should have been rainy season, rainfall was below normal. For more than 2 months, the sun blazed, its scorching heat drying up dams, turning farmlands into cracked brown earth. The countryside season for planting and celebration, where we have a lot of our fiestas, its season of joy turned into a season of grief. A total of 127,000 hectares of land for rice,